Okay. So I need you to tell me hello,
Hello.
wherever you want. You can look at me, you can look at this camera, or this camera now is not on. It's gonna be on in 10 minutes. Your name and your educational background.
My name is Milind Chandwani and I am an engineer by profession. Well, I'm not an engineer by profession, I'm an engineer by degree. I am a school leader by profession.
So what do you do here at school?
I lead the school in Mundwa in Pune city. I basically run a school for 8th, 9th and 10th graders who can't afford secondary education.
How long have you been working here?
This is my 5th month.
Do you
Okay,
also
full
teach?
statements.
What?
Full statements.
Yes. Do you also teach?
I do teach. I love teaching, and besides being a manager for other teachers or a coach for other teachers, I teach mathematics to 8th grade, and now I also teach English to the 9th grade.
What kind of school did you go to?
Well, I went to a private school. Well, I went to a high-income private school, which was full of resources. There was no scarcity of anything in that school. A lot of teachers, well-equipped teachers. Everything that we wanted was in that school. There were swimming pools, there was horse riding. Except I was a lazy kid, so I didn't do anything.
So what brings you here?
Well, that's a long story, but having a family background of people who genuinely care about the society. We have an orphanage, we have a set of children who just don't get to go to school if there is no one supporting them. That pulled me towards giving some of my time in a week to students who need it. And then I started volunteering, and then from volunteering I made it a full-time job in Teach for India. And I became a fellow there. I joined a government school where I worked with 130 kids. It was a great experience, and then having felt the feeling where a child comes running to you after the results, really excited that I finally did it. I think that keeps me going. The hope keeps me going that all these children will one day become something. And that's what made me join this sector permanently and then come to IT schools in Pune as a school leader.
When you say the teacher will become something, what do you mean?
Well, honestly, for most of these students, they are first generation learners. And as first generation learners, the exposure is so low that they feel that even being a DJ is a good career option for them, which most of our students do think is a great career option, by the way. Which is a great career option. However, it's not possible for all of them to become DJs in a society like ours. And education is required to go in any direction that they want and to achieve success. And the hope that we can really contribute to that education keeps me going, that tomorrow a child who wants to even become a cricketer will not become a cricketer just because he only played cricket and did not pass school. He would be a well-educated cricketer, a well-informed cricketer. It would be an informed choice. I want every child to make an informed choice of choosing a career instead of landing into one. You can tell me if you don't like the answer.
I love it. How did you feel the first time that you came here to this school?
Well, the first time I came to this particular school, I started the school basically this year. We increased it from a 3-room to a 6-room school. It it was crazy. There was a lot of construction going on. We had a very small team to begin with. There were these excited students to find out who these new people are, why are they here, what do they want to do with us, and it was chaotic, but a good chaotic. It was chaotic where you feel peaceful. It was that kind of a chaotic.
And how has the school changed since then?
Well, it's still chaotic. The school is a much better place now. It's a safer place for the students to be. It's a happier place for the students to be. Our learning has increased significantly. Our teachers have become really, really better at their execution of classrooms, of their classes. Our children, some of them have started taking ownership of not their own learning but of others' learning as well. Right now, as we speak, in the background there are extra classes happening where students are teaching other students who did not do well in the previous exams. And I think the school has changed to become a place of doers than a place of, well, let us say, complainers. Now we all try to do, we all try to be here, and we all try to make a change rather than complain about what we don't have. We try to make it work in whatever we have access to, whatever time we have, whatever resources we have, and whichever student it is that we are working with, we try to make it work.
What do you think is the role of the teacher or your role in school?
Role of a teacher in our school? Well, I mean, that's pretty much the only role that we need. We have a teacher is the only person right now who can turn these lives around. If not turn these lives around, at least guide them in the right direction. A teacher right now is the only one who can level the playing field for each child in Pune. Our teachers come from such varied backgrounds, from people coming from investment banking to people who wanted to actually be teachers from their very childhood. And the passion reflects in their actions. Every teacher genuinely cares about every child getting into college and then eventually finishing college, and hence the effort shows. So I think teachers are the most important part of our school, and without them, there's no point of me being a school leader.
What values do you teach, or do you teach teachers to teach?
Well, if you're asking the school values, then no.
I'm asking, let's start with the school values.
Well, we have a lot of school values. We try to make sure that our students are empathetic, they achieve excellence in everything that they do. They are very prepared for every task that comes their way. So multiple values that we follow: preparedness, empathy, excellence. And our values are same for teachers and students, except the actions are different. For example, an empathy value would look, for a student it would look like if a student is eating alone, you go sit next to him and you accompany him. As opposed to, in case of a teacher, empathy would look like if you see a teacher struggling in a classroom, you walk into that classroom with the teacher and you help them. And there are many values that we want to teach our students just to ensure that they are not machines once they go out of school, they are holistic individuals.
And what do you teach, aside the values of the school?
Well, I am a coach, for lack of a better word. I teach them how to teach. I love teaching, and that has made me really work hard on finding out the right tools that make you a better teacher. And I think I share all the tools with the teachers, I guide them in the right direction. We coach them for 2.5 hours every week, in which we do the lesson planning with them, we observe their classes, we debrief their classes, we do check-ins with them, we try to understand how their personal life and professional life is going. That is one big part of my job role, where I try to understand how every teacher is feeling and support them in any way that I can.
What do you like of your job?
Well, everything about it. It's a lot of learning, it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, but a lot of fun work. You see successes every day, and you see to be successes every day. I won't call them failures because none of them are failures. These are all processes that are going in the direction of successes, and every day there is that one child who was not paying attention but starts paying attention today. Every day there is that one child who feels the need to actually achieve something in that particular day, and then, well, some of them do go back, but the hope is that they will just keep moving forward one step at a time, and then yeah, that's what I love about school.